Welcome na naman sa Usapang Braces. Of course, syempre, nandito na naman ang iyong nag-iisang Doktora ng Bayan, si Doc Gerald Almonte po, ang iyong lingkod. So, iba na naman yung atake natin ngayon kasi yun yung sinasabi ko, hindi ako handa. I'm not prepared. So, sa itsura ko pa lang, hindi ako prepared, ha? Actually, for those or for my past braces, palagi ko yung sinasabi na ang sa atin lang naman is we are more on discussion. Discussion na talagang lowest terminology so that para makaintindi kayo. Ginagawa nating mahinahon, ginagawa nating simple para makaintindi kayo. Kasi ang main goal ko nga is the public. I want to create an awareness. I want to create an form of knowledge that came out to the mouth of the legitimate and professional person. Now, ang content natin today is isa din siya sa mga one of the most important also. Kasi kadalasan natin masasabi yan o kadalasan sa katanungan natin regarding sa age bracket or the age limit kung magpapabraces ka. Kasi iba sa mga matatanda na sa atin, sinasabi nila nga, ay, ayaw ko na magpa-braces kasi matanda na ako. Ay, hindi pa pwede ang anak ko kasi bata pa siya. Common na sinasabi natin yan. We are not aware. So now, nandito ako para masagot ko ang mga katanungan ninyo. Kung ano ba talaga ang age legitimate ng gustong magpa-braces. Actually, based on my experience, pwede magpa-braces po 7 up to 14 years old because we are doing the orthodontics treatment by stages or by pace, by stages, step by step. So in particular, ano ba talagang o ilang taong gulang ba talaga about the age of, so 7 up to 14 years old, we have the so-called pediatrics treatment. Or other form, may tinatawag kaming pediatrics orthodontics. Now, pa 15 up to 50 years old na taong gulang, ang tinatawag namin is adult braces. Simple lang. Ang pediatrics is para yan sa mga bata na age of 7 years old up to 14 years old. Ang ginagawa ng isang doktor na yan or the technique varies on the stage of treatment. Kasi 7 up to 14 years old, alam nyo nyo naman, malambot pa ang mga gum niyan. So expected natin na 7 up to 14 years old, may mga secondary tooth pa yan kung tawagin natin. Diba? Secondary tooth. That is why, on the pediatrics treatment, or on the pediatrics braces, we most likely require the x-ray. Why? Why we require x-rays? X-rays for us will determine the torque position of the tooth. At saka, what is torque position by the way? Yung ugat ng ngipin mo ba? Anong position? Yun. So, I always simplify, right? So, doon din natin makikita ang ngipin natin kung may secondary tooth pa ba siya, tutubuan pa ba siya. So, it varies most of the time on techniques. Like for me, I do like Ang ginagawa ko kapag 7 up to 10 years old, ang kinakabitan ko muna ng bracket. Have you noticed, by the way, at the age of 7 years old, 9 years old, 10 years old, up to 11 or 14, ang problema ng ngipin nila is nasa harapan. Yung lateral incisor nila, yung upper, is kadalasan is not aligned. They are not aligned. Ang iba is twisted. Twisted tooth. Ang iba naman yung dito sa upper nila, the midline or the center, the 8 and 9 tooth or teeth, is para silang butterfly. So we call it butterfly tooth. So may iba rin, para ring what we call that one, crooks. Parang ngipon ng buaya ang lalaki. So may iba din, may tinatawag kaming butterfly or parang chipmunk. Yes, meron din mga ganun, mga chipmunk tooth na masyado nakausli. At the age of 7 years old, yun ang problema. So the attack there, simple. Yun lang muna ang i-braces natin, yung 4. Kasi hindi naman, it doesn't determine or it doesn't says that kapag nakita mo yung lahat ng ngipin natin is naka-bracket, yun ang tinatawag nating original or buo na braces. Depende kasi yan sa doktor kung anong technique una gagawin niya. Kasi yun nga always ko sinasabi, nakaplano yan eh. 'Di ba? So nakaplano yan. So ang ginagawa namin is yung lower and lateral incisor is parang yun lang muna ang ginagawa nating for the meantime, for the first phase of the first stage of the planning. Yun lang muna ang binibraces. O yun lang. So may mga stages din kaming ginagamit na sa first phase on the post-diagnosis. Baka magtaka kayo no na ganun, bakit ganun ang paggagawa. Huwag niyo pangunahan kasi ang doktor. Siya nakakaalam para sa kaligtasan o kaayusan ng ngipin ng mga anak ninyo. Yun eh. So, at the age of 14 years old, up to 50 years old, yun, pwede ka pa magpa-braces as long you have the budget. Sabi naman kadalasan kasi na, ay, wag na ako kasi gawang matanda na ako. You know that kind of philosophy? Para bang dinidiscourage yung sarili mo na, ay, wag na ako kasi matanda na ako. May mga matanda kasi na maarte sa ngipin eh. Sa totoo lang. Oh, marami. Sa experience ko, ang dami kong mga madams na binibraces. Hindi ko naman sinasabi yan sa kanila na kung kailan tumanda saka pa nagpa-braces. No! It's their right. It's their rights to wear the braces. Kasi may kaya sila eh. May pambayad sila. Yun. Now, since that is my main concern for today's short blog, I will like also to expand toward like, para hindi kayo malito. O sino ba talaga ang legitimate na, ano ba talaga ang legitimate na edad na pwede na magpa-braces? 7 up to 14 years old. We categorize it by first phase, pediatrics treatment. Pediatrics or the phase of braces. Now, if you are old enough, so malaki yung problema mo, mas maintindihan kasi natin kapag 7 up to 14 years old, it is the compliance or the result of the treatment is mas fastest. Mas madali naming ma-achieve na ma-straight or ma-align ang mga ngipin nila, gawa ngang malambot pa yung gum. Malambot pa yung mga ngipin. So, regarding sa yung may mga ngipin na, ang mga bata kasi yung mga batang ngipin kasi is soft pa yan. Tinatawag mga milk tooth pa yan. Soft. So, kapag matanda na, ang ginagawa naman namin, tinatry namin na pag makita namin ang case is very much complex, we do like anchor. We used to anchor the braces. And then, anyway, I will explain that in my next vlog, what is anchorage. But it's not a complex way, in a simple manner. Now, mas easier for us kung ikaw mismo pinapangalagaan or you are taking good care of your tooth not to be damaged. Usually, the most common scenario, we go to a doctor nga severe na yung problema. Yun ang ginagawa natin mga Pinoy eh. Hindi ko nila lahat ha. Ginagawa natin mga Pilipino, pumupunta tayo sa isang doctor or any form of doctor. Anong klaseng doctor yan? Medical doctor, orthodontist, dentist. Marami nga sa atin. Umabot na ng 40 years old, ni minsan hindi nakapasok ng dental clinic. Di ba? Kasi doon sa office namin, or doon sa office ko, I have this kind of form nga questionnaire. So, unang tinatanong ko doon, of course, number one, sa profiling, pinapasulat ko ilang taon na siya, how many times did or she visited or he visited to his dentist. Always sila sabi, first time ko ngayon, Doc, pumasok dito. Kung hindi ako magpapabraces, ngayon lang kita nakita. Oh my God. Di ba? You should have your regular check-up every 6 months. Kasi alam mo sa abroad, ang dental check-up nila, required by the government, it's free every 6 months. In Doha, Qatar, in London, they are required with the dental check-up every 6 months. Alam nyo ba kung gaano ka-importante ang ngipin natin o bunganga natin? It so happen, under by law, once mahawakan ka na ng isang doctor, automatically, you will be recorded as their patient na dumaan ka na sa kanila. So, yung mga ngipin mo is recorded by data. Now, here's what happened. Under the law, we keep the record for about decade or 10 years. Alam nyo kung bakit. Kung anong mangyari sa'yo, pwede nyo kaming kontakin. Like for example, masalvage ka, masunog ka. Like what happened on the crash plane. So a lot of soldiers, a crash plane in one of the airport here in Mindanao. So there are a lot of soldiers cannot be identified by their family. Why? Because they were totally born. No? The only thing to identify them is their dental and DNA testing. Now, paano ma-identify ang dental record ng isang tao na kung ikaw mismo, kung ilang taong gulang ka na ngayon, ni minsan, hindi ka nga nakapasok sa dental clinic. Yun eh. So, in my office, we keep the record for about 10 years. So that, whatever emergency cases happen for you, masunog ka, mamatay ka, and nobody will determine who you are, your identity, so masasabi ko that I can even certify that it is you. Kasi, recorded ko yung mga ngipin mo, yung shape ng bunganga mo. We have the bites registered. So, yun. So, yun na, inaano ko lang para I just keep in touch with a little discussion of that. So, hindi sana sa atin magiging common mentality na pupunta lang tayo sa isang doctor o sa isang dentist kung severe case na tayo. Now, here's one example. In my braces patient, because in our office or in our clinic, we have the so-called like package. So, kapag naka-package ka, para may chance na may insurance ka covered with that year. So, may insurance like anong mangyayari ng braces mo. So, you have the right to claim as free repair, adjustment. Depende na yan kung anong content ng package mo. So, there's one guy, it's a teenager, who is fond of making drag race on motorcycle. So, it so happened, they done the scenario like one night, they got accident. So alam mo ano nangyari? They get into crash with a motorcycle, and then what happened? Their mouth bump on the floor. So totally, because he was wearing braces, so the front of her mouth was damaged. There was a crack of tooth, and then all the braces was broken because due to the accident, the impact of the bump due to the accident was not really expected. So since na naka-package siya at saka naka-under insurance pa sa akin, for about 12 midnight, because I'm still online on my messenger, he contacted me. He PM me and he said, "Doc, na-disgrasya ako, yung braces ko was broken. And even in his gum line was damaged and bruised and everything. So there's a laceration." So what I did, I replied him back, "Punta ka sa clinic bukas, schedule kita. That will be covered as emergency since na your mouth is insured for us or for me." So right and then, kaka-post lang niya sa social media niya na nadisgrasya, sira yung bunganga niya, sira yung braces niya at that night. And then the following afternoon, because what I did is in the morning, I conducted a repair and everything sa mouth niya. Right, and then after our treatment, repair, you know what happened? He posted again. It's something like a magical. So, most of his friends wondering, "Oh, sino bang doktor mo?" Alam niyo kung bakit? Na-damage lang kung kailan lang ang bunganga mo, and then a few moment, it returned back. So, yun eh. Sa akin kasi, I'm giving always advice to my patient to add me on my social